So, good evening, everyone. So, in this video, I'm going to be discussing about our final project in computer programming 2, and it is called the inventory management system. And what this essentially does is it manages your inventory, right? Everything from updating, from adding, modifying your stuff in inventory. But this only uses a that file, right? It's not actually a database, but it's a file-based system. So yeah. So the first thing that you're gonna want to do is actually when you open our folder, you're gonna see this, right? If you're using a VS Code or any other IDE or text editor, so there should be no build folder here, right? So the first thing that you're gonna want to do is you create a folder, right? And that folder is named data, right? Or oh why can't we do that? So apparently I can't do that here. So let's just do this, man. Oh, because I've already have it. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna delete that real quick. So I'm gonna just gonna do make their data, and then we're gonna add a file called inventory that, and then the next step is you want to build a folder called build, right? Build, and then you're gonna type make if you have make, right? But if you don't have make, there's another way, which is in our documentation. You can follow that along. But this in this video, I'm just gonna use make because I already have it and it's way easier. So right, make so what this does is essentially compiles our code. You know, it generates the object files which you need in order for our program to run, right? In order to build our main.exe file. So as you can see, we already have it here. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna hold that main.x, we're gonna execute that. So here it is, right? So this is our UI, right? So as you can see, we have 6 choices here. So you can choose whatever, right? Depending of what you're gonna want to do in your um right, what you're gonna want to do. For example, if you want to add a product, you can go type here one, right? So as you can see there, please enter the details of the new product, it's a name. So let's say, for example, right, let's say we want a orange, right? Orange and fruit, of course, I think it's a fruit. And then quantity, 1 or 2, right? Say, and let's say it's 40 or it's rice, right? And if you look at the inventory that folder right here, it's empty. There should be there, you know, it should pop up there whenever we enter this, right? So, and there it goes, right? So that's how you add a product. And the next thing, let's say, let's add another product, right? Let's say, for example, let's add a, I don't know, maybe some cucumber. I don't know. Um, Pineapple. I think pineapple is a fruit, I guess. I don't know. And then one, let's say, and then let's say, for example, that's 20. So there it goes. We have pineapple. And then let's say, let's say I want to remove the orange, right? Because I don't like orange, so I'm gonna do that. So you're gonna hit two for that remove product. So you're gonna wanna copy the ID of that data right here. So that should be HGSQD, right? And that should be gone, just like so, right? So of course you don't want to just look at the file, right? Every time you know, you're doing this, right? What you're gonna want to do is you can actually view inventory. If you look at, if you type here number 3, right? Which you view inventory, which is, you know, print out the data in your inventory, right? So that's just what it does. So let's say for the sake of it, let's add more products because let's say, for example, I have so many products in my house, right? For example, I just bought some, I don't know, maybe some, I can't think of fruit, maybe apple, right? And then fruit, of course, because I'm a fruit lover. And then one, say 20, right? And then let's add another one. add product. Uh, I don't know, maybe I don't want to go orange, maybe bananas, right? I think banana is a fruit as well. And then two, so, and then 20, right? So again, we can view our inventory here, just like so, right? And then actually we can have our total inventory value, which is just the quantity times the price, and then the total and the sum of all of these things, right? So this is equal to that. And then of course we can search for product, right? So you can see there that's actually the fourth option. So here we have four. So it prompts you to choose one if you wish to search by ID, two if you wish to switch by, sorry, that's actually search, but yeah. Okay, so let's say for example I just want to search for ID, right? ID because my I want to all my fruits have some IDs, right? And then let's say here I want to search for pineapple, right? So I'm gonna copy its ID, right? Just like so. RUB, I don't relate this thing. Okay, so, and then Q, and then yeah, it should pop up there, right? Just like so. So we have a fruit, and then the quantity is one. And then let's say for example I wanna I don't know the ID, right? I have no idea about their IDs, right? So let's say for example I just want to search by name, right? So I do two for that. Two, search by name. Let's say pineapple, or let's just say pine, right? Because let's say for example, I forgot that I have some pineapple. Maybe I thought that I have pine, but yeah, it's fine. So what it does is just actually it still prints it out because it has the same exact wordings, right? So kind of thing. The same goes if it will print out everything if you completely name it out right there. So let's say I wanna let's say what I wanna do. Let's say we wanna update our product, right? So let's say for example, right, I just bought some I just bought some new pineapples, right? So I can I can stuck it in, right? Or stack it out, or I can update it completely. Like what I mean by this is that you can change its name, you can change its quantity, you can change its price. So let's say for this one, I just want to stack something out, right? Because I just bought a new one, new pineapple, right? So I'm going to uh make the ID here, right? R RUBQ, enter the ID and enter the quantity change, right? So let's say I just bought one, right? So I'm just gonna add some. I bought two, so yeah, that's two right there, and it should add, right? If you view inventory, now I have three pineapple, right? Uh, I used to have one, right now I had three because I just added two. And let's say um I'm gonna update everything, right? Maybe I wanna change the price of my pineapple, right? So what I can do is I can choose the option two, and I would do that, and then enter the ID. If that data, right, which in this case is our pineapple, our OQU, and then enter, and I can add some new name, but I'm just gonna leave it as is, and fruit, just like so, tree, and let's say for example that now it's just the prices just went up because of, I don't know, inflation or something, right? So 25.0. So now as you can see, it actually changed it. So if I view my inventory, boom, as you can see, right, we have now 25 for our pineapple, $25 for our pineapple, and it actually changed the total inventory value as well, right? The last time it was 120, and now it's 135. So that's actually, like, that's basically how you wanna update your product. Also, you can exit, right? So that's actually it, right? And let's say for the sake of it, I would just want to show something, right? how we handle our um what do you call that, our exception handling, right? So let's say, for example, you just want to mess with everything, or maybe you're bored or something, right? And you can see there, right? It will actually um warn you that you can't do that, because that you can't category cannot be empty, and you have to enter some values. And for, let's say, for quantity, you just doing that, and then it scream at you like, invalid input for quantity must be integer, and so something like that, right? So 1 to 3, and then same goes for fries, and so on and so forth. So, and then everything, right? You can actually do this, and it won't let you do that, because obviously that's not you're not allowed to do that. And then, let's say, for example, you just want to mess with it, right? You went 7, so it says, right, you can't do that because there are only 6 options, and you're going more than that. So you have to be it must be 1 through 6, right? 0, I don't know, you can do that, right? So yeah, that's basically it, and that should be, yeah, that's exactly 10 minutes. So thank you so much for listening, and God bless, right?